You can watch NBC's new drama State of Affairs tonight right here on KPRC Local 2.
Alfre Woodard plays President Constance Payton on the show. She's joining us live this morning. Great to see you.
Thank you.
All right, so give us some background on the show and tell us a little bit about your relationship with Katherine Heigl's character.
Well, I play Constance Payton, the president, and Katie plays Charleston Tucker, and she is a top CIA analyst. And this show revolves around her life. We have in common her fiance and my son, who was a human rights worker, was killed in an attack on a convoy in which we were all riding in Afghanistan. And I have come away from that. I was running for president, then I become the president. She's my top briefer. And every day the president gets a daily briefing book with the 10 most pressing issues, threats to the nation's security. And so she brings those to the president, and the president decides what's the focus of the day. And not only do we have to bring justice to the people that have mounted that attack, who continue to mount attacks on the homeland throughout the season, but we have that secondary thing between us, off the boards, of making sure we avenge the death of Aaron, my son.
And I understand you don't always know exactly kind of who's in the right and who's in the wrong when you're watching these episodes. You kind of have to keep watching, correct?
Well, yes, and also that's the great thing about it. You can fight about it with your friends the next day, because even, as does happen in life, things are never black or white, and even the gray is debatable. So that's the thing that's wonderful about this. You realize how people make the hard choices every day. The CIA analysts, we haven't seen them before in a story, but they listen to this chatter constantly, 24/7 from around the world, and they have to decide what is a credible threat and what isn't. It might be somebody saying, oh, I saw some guys over in a market and I overheard this word. And that could be somebody like from a fruit seller in Ecuador. That might be a key thing. You just can't push it off. It doesn't necessarily have to come from, the German intelligence agency, overhearing something. So it's about those people that make those decisions, people that we didn't know existed until they went after bin Laden. So we get to see them in action, and we get a peek into their personal lives as well.
Alfre, what did you do to prepare for this role?
Well, the same I do with any character. You're always a person. As an actor, you have to find, you've got what's written from the writer, but you've got to find what makes that person an individual like no one has ever been born. So I've got to find the person, Constance Payton. She has the job of being the president, and so we know the protocol of that. I spent a lot of time in Washington over the last few decades, and working with people on social issues, advocating for children on behalf of women and students, and just doing human rights work around the world. So I know that world. So what my job was to find this woman, this particular woman, in time, make it credible that she got to this position, and then you execute out of that. When you think of all the presidents, they're all very different, and there's no such thing as presidential unless you're doing something ceremonial.
It's true. All right, Alfre, thank you so much for joining us. It's such a timely topic as well, so we'll be watching.
It'll be exciting.
All right, here's tonight's lineup. You can watch The Voice at 7, followed by State of Affairs at 9, and then stay tuned for KPRC Local 2 News at 10 o'clock.